let's get the studio. And we will get started. So I was working on this yesterday and I made pretty good progress, but then I had to frog it all. Well, not all, but the progress I had made, which was 5 rows. Somehow I counted wrong on one of my rows, and well, you know how that goes, right? I mean, it's a graph can, so the picture was off. I could not believe that. So that was pretty upsetting, you know, because they're not, you know, they're not short rows. They're long rows, so to have to frog 5 out was, you know, it was a lot of work. So that was where I left off last night. I was like so excited because I was like, oh, I've done so much. I got so much done, you know. And then I looked at my picture and it was off, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me, you know. And then it's just, you've probably been there too, where you just get super frustrated with yourself because you just can't even believe that you did that, right? Yeah, that's where I was at. Luckily, it was at the end of the night, so I didn't have to just, you know, stay frustrated for like the entire day. It was just at the end, and I got up today, and I didn't want to come work on it because of that, you know, but I'm like, I have to get it done, so, and I don't know why, I just, my count, I don't know, but it's okay, right? We all make mistakes. I just don't like making them, but it happens. Hello, Rowan. Welcome in. So I don't think that I am going, because for those 5 rows that I completed yesterday, like I was working. Like I was working my little fingers. Like I'm surprised they're not sore, because they were sore last night. But they seem to be doing okay today. But yeah, I don't think I will catch up to what I had, you know, not today. But I did break it down, and I have to do 3 rows a day to stay on schedule. But I'm going to try to do the 3 rows today, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to get there. But yeah, so having to frog back 5 rows, that was very disappointing, to say the least. Hey Bill, welcome in. How are you? How are you doing, Bill? I did not know that watching eggs hatch could be so interesting. I stayed up so late to watch those little chickies. I have chickens, but they're all hens, and so we don't, you know, we don't get chicks. I've thought about it, but don't know that I want to do that. Good night, Rowan. So I know y'all can't even see this blanket. This might be the last time that I work on it on a live. Because I think to work on it, I'm gonna have to, well, I mean, I can work on it here like this, but like you can't really see the picture or anything like that. So it just looks like a mess to you guys. And I mean, when I want to stretch it out, I gotta like get it on the floor, because it is getting big. So like you see it ends right here, right? But I have it rolled up and pinned like on both ends. So it's getting pretty big. Big enough that it is difficult to keep it up here on the chair like this. Like I keep on doing my stitches just because of the way I'm having to move it around. So yeah, so it's a pain. But here we are, right? So like I said, I'm going to try to do, because my schedule calls for having at least 3 rows a day done so that I can have it done in time. I figure I'd come on here and crochet for a little bit and just chit chat with y'all. I thought about just doing a silent just so that I can focus, because I don't want to make a mistake like I did last night. But then I was like, I'll just go ahead and just not make it a silent. That way I can chit chat a little and I can just be quiet if I need to. So here we are. Hi, Izzy. No, I think I'm okay for right now. How are you doing, Izzy? Yeah, that'll do it to you. I know that feeling. Are you planting flowers or are you planting vegetable garden? Yeah, I am taking a break from the garden today. There's so much gardening that I still have left to do, but I just don't want to. Hi Renee, how are you? I came on to work on this blanket for a little bit. I had to frog 5 rows of it last night because I made a mistake in my count. I was pretty frustrated. But then I decided I'm going to go ahead and do it today, right? I was trying to avoid it, but I'm like, I have to do it. Because I have a deadline, so I thought after the word his it was gonna be dear, but his closet. Lunch break. So does he get all new clothes now? It should be like 11:40 at Renee's. I'm getting a late start today just with everything. I have those days sometimes, you know. Low energy days. Let's see. Yeah, it's still early, but you probably started early too, didn't you? You're gonna work on the bike video with the snakes. I mean, and that has to be pretty scary, but at the same time, that's pretty cool. Because that's the first thing when I watched it this morning, that's the first thing I was like, oh, this would make like such a cool short, you know? Let's just move all this out of my way. This not bothers me. Yeah, it was that was how it was here for the weekend. It was stormy. We got like, I think it was like over 4 inches of rain. So I think we're still like, well, I don't know if we still are, but we were like in flash flood warning. We were on tornado watch, like most of the weekend. So yeah. Hey Manuela, welcome in. Did I miss Rosalie? She said she was a little better yesterday. I haven't seen any post or anything from her. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. I think the rainy season here of schools. You're rocking a sunburn. I have like sun-kissed cheeks from the sun here, from working in the garden. That's good though. You'll get to actually enjoy all your biking and the sunny weather. Just have a good time. We get a lot of rain here during the spring, so it'll be rainy a lot. All right, put that one there. Lock this one into place. So yeah, but like I said, this will probably be the last time I work on this blanket on video, just because it's getting so big and like it's kind of like a pain to like move it around and do like what I have to get done, you know, and still try to like keep it in frame. So yeah, so this will probably be it on this one. I was just like, since I have to get it done, I really, because I could have came on and done like a smaller project, but I was like, I really have got to work on this one. So I'm torturing myself here with not having the room to maneuver it around, but we'll do the best we can and make it work, right? April rain brings May flowers. So if you're gardening and planting flowers, that rain will be really good for it. I did. I got a lot of stuff done in the garden, and I didn't even when I planted this stuff, I didn't even water it because I knew we were expecting so much rain. I'm just hoping that it didn't drown out some of my seeds, push them real far in. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see what comes up and what doesn't. I got my seeds inside on heating mats, trying to germinate them. I don't know how those will do. I know, it was a super late start because I just didn't think I was going to garden this year, but here we are right now trying to play catch up. I may have to buy a few plants. Although I did see, I was checking on some of my greens, and I did see where I have some volunteer tomatoes coming up, so that's nice. And then on another bed, let's see, I'm not sure I'm not missing a lot of stuff on here. Oh, you heated the pool. Oh, wow. Awesome. You did say that heating the pool, though, was going to cost you like $500. Did it warm up that quickly? Finishing a sock. Working on the scarf thing with sleeves for my granddaughter. Yeah, the scarf sweater. I have a scarf sweater pattern that I want to work on, but I don't even know when I'm going to get to that. Like a month or two ago, I thought I was going to get to that relatively quickly, and then I started this blanket, and now I'm at deadline. Yeah. I'll keep talking about Rosalie, and as of yesterday, I thought she was doing better. So I don't know what's going on. Hey, God's Desire, welcome in. How are you doing? How did your deep tissue massage go? Oh, okay. How old is she? Okay, yeah, I guess she wasn't completely healed. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Does she live close to you, or is she going to be staying with y'all for a while? With her brother. So is her brother your grandson? No, right? I'm reading more into that, I think. Got the massage. Did it help you any? Okay, so she is. Okay, that is her brother. Okay. Oh, cupping and hot stones. I like the cupping. We got a cupping set, and we do it at home. And you know, it works for the most part. I don't do it regularly like I probably ought to because I don't like I really don't care for the bruises it leaves on me, you know, where it pulls up the blood or whatever. I don't like that too much. But like, you know, once or twice a year. Because it's not like it makes me feel that much better that I'm like, the bruises will be fine, you know? And it works differently on different people. I imagine the hot stones felt really good. Yeah, well, that's good that they have you there, though, to try, you know, to help out. Hey, Noni, happy Monday. I'm glad you're getting some sunny weather. It's about time, right? We had like over 4 inches of, I was gonna say snow, of rain this weekend. I think we still have like flash flood warnings. I think it's done raining though, at least maybe till later. It's not sunny out though, it's pretty cloudy out there. We were under tornado watch for most of the weekend. So when we weren't, I mean, there was, for a little while it didn't rain. And so I got out there in the garden and got some gardening done. But I have so much more to get done. Yeah. Yeah, your back is completely bruised. I would think that was Saturday, so I would think probably by today or tomorrow, you should notice a pretty big improvement, though. It's storming there now. I hope these storms are done. Yeah, they are. The weather is all over the place, isn't it? So are you going to have to buy him all new clothes, or are you donating all his old ones? God's desire that you get your strawberries planted. I got an email today. You know, it was supposed to be at the end of the month, but they'll be here next week sometime. I'm going to donate them. Oh wow, never even worn. Oh, I thought they were already there. So I thought I was going to have like time to like, I mean, I'm glad they're going to get here earlier, of course. But because it was supposed to be the last week of the month, I was like, oh, so the towers would get here and I can just take my time filling them, you know. But now, because the towers should be here tomorrow, so I'll have to do it, get them filled up this week or this weekend, and so that they'll be ready to go when the strawberries get here. I mean, the asparagus bed, you know, I have asparagus coming with the strawberries, and that one's ready. That one's just waiting for the asparagus to get here so I can put them in there. But the strawberries don't have a place just yet. And hopefully the weather will hold up for me to be able to do things, you know, because if it's like this weekend, that could present an issue. All right, so 1, 2. I gotta keep making my marks. Those of you that are coming in now, I've made so much progress on this blanket yesterday, but then I had to frog 5 rows, and these are long rows. So, yeah. So now I'm trying to catch up, and so I'm trying to be really careful so I don't miss my count and mess it up. And a freeze warning. Wow. Yeah, depending what you have out there, you may need to cover it. Hey Lydia, how are you? Welcome in. Did you manage to get a doctor's appointment for today? God says, I bought my soul for the strawberries on Friday. You're gonna make it, right? Did you buy the soil, or did you get the peat moss and vermiculite and compost? Hey Granny, welcome in. How are you doing? What are you working on? Hey Star, welcome in. Good to see you. God's Desire says, hey everyone I missed. Yes, yes. We try not to miss anyone, but it happens. Oh, Lydia. All right, so I need to count to 29. Let's set that aside. And so, yeah, so because I miscounted yesterday, I'm like so paranoid now. Like I'm counting like numerous times. Like, yeah. And when I started crocheting, when I started the video a little bit ago, I was like, oh yeah, I'm surprised my fingers are not sore. Because I mean, I crocheted for hours yesterday, even though I had to undo my work. So there's not much to show for it, right? But now that I've been crocheting just for like 30 minutes or so, I can feel my fingers, like, because I think I overdid it yesterday. Like they're not wanting to like hold properly. Like they just, I mean, I have that issue anyway, even when I don't overwork with them, depending on the day. Peat moss, compost, and hobby frog. Okay, yeah, so you are making it. We got some soil, and then we got some compost, and I have peat moss. I have that compost, that you know, our homemade compost. I just haven't felt like toting it to the garden, you know, because that's a whole thing, like getting it out of there, you know. Have to shovel it out of there into the wheelbarrow and then take it to the garden and then shovel it back out and go back and forth. And I don't know, the last like 2 or 3 days, my energy level has just been low. Like I had a lot of energy there for a little bit, and then it's back down. '73, winds of 10 miles per hour. Granny's weather, 56. What? You have hand paint today? And what do you have on? I don't know if that was autocorrect or if I'm missing something. Granny, are you resuming your normal YouTube operations this week? I saw you on with Grumpus this weekend. I just lurked for a bit. You know, I get in those moods when I just don't want to chat. I think we probably all do. God's Desire says, I frogged my shawl and started over. Looks much better with one style of knitting. You had a unique thing going there. I would have proudly worn that, God's Desire. You're one of a kind. First time. Yeah. But I know you're a perfectionist, so I know that had to be killing you, right? Well, and you've had some experience now, so you know, it probably looks better too. Like as far as like the stitching goes. Hey Jenny, welcome in. How are you doing? Resuming tonight, okay. I know I haven't talked to y'all since, what, just Friday night, but it seems like forever. I mean, I know I see some of you in other channels and stuff like that, but it just seems like a long time. Welcome back. When you'll be back to doing your lives? You know, it's nice. I think it's nice that people care, you know. But at the same time, when you're not feeling well or you don't want to deal with people, like sometimes you don't want to see those emails, you know. But I mean, it goes both ways, you know. How many did she have in the incubator? Because she had, wasn't there like 12 in there? Oh, did 5 not make it? I didn't watch the full video. Like um, I watched 2 of them hatch. I watched till my chick hatch. My chick was chick number 2. And yeah, I was up a lot later than I wanted to be, but I couldn't stop watching. I did not know I would enjoy that so much. And then the following day, I watched some of the replay, but obviously that's not really like something you can listen to because it's watching, because it's actually silent. So, and I had stuff to do, so I could not watch all of them. Um, but I did watch, I think till there was 4. Because it was an 11-hour live. I don't know how many. That night I watched quite a few. But then yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long I watched the next day. Long enough to watch like 2 more birds get hatched. It's really hard for me to stay consistent. So I think I'm going to make it a habit of taking some time off once a month. Like taking a week off. What do you mean stay consistent? Like just your days, your times. I tell you what, if I didn't have that commitment with you guys on Friday, I would not have gone live Friday night. I did not feel well. I mean, y'all made me look awesome because y'all just kind of took the reins, and did stuff. But and I appreciate it because I did not feel well. So 5 didn't make it. Yeah, yeah. Renee says Friday night is fun. Maybe I'll have a little bit more fun this Friday night because I was struggling. That's the thing though, when you take the time off though, YouTube, But I guess it doesn't matter, right? You just do what you want, and if YouTube wants to punish you, then let them have at it, right? I mean, I know I say it, but like when I wasn't here for that 2 weeks, man, they really just stopped putting my stuff out. Oh, thank you. You're fine, Lydia. You do you, okay? You take care of yourself. Take a week off or maybe not do so many lives. Yeah, in that week. Renee, you might find that you like it. I mean, you've already been like, on my panel, you've been on, the ladies, Michelle, Noni, Rosalie, Liz. So, I mean, I think you do fine. All right, why am I picking up the white? Before November, I had taken almost a year and a half off, so I think skipping a week live streams isn't going to do much damage to me. It's a year and a half. I was still getting 75 to 100 views a day. That's really good. That is really good. Like I don't do a lot on my other channel, or I haven't been. I mean, here in the last couple of weeks, I've done a few videos, but not like I was doing when I was doing it and not doing this one. Um, and it still gets views. Not like, huge amounts, but it's still, because people still want to know how to can and how to preserve food. But it's not like YouTube is putting it out there for them, It's like they're having to search and find the things. I also have a lot of, yeah, yeah, I think on that other one, yeah, that's what the people watch the most is, like the canning, the food preservation, because, that never goes out of date, really. The instruction is the same today as it was, 5 years ago, so it doesn't matter. Hey, squirrel, welcome in. How are you doing? What do you mean? They're rerunning like rewatching your lives or your videos, Lydia? I watch a magnet fisher in Amsterdam. So much fun to watch him in the canals. Gani says, I just ordered my son a bunch of snacks to take on his trip to DC tomorrow. Oh, he leaves tomorrow. So that way he doesn't have to spend his money when the bus stops. That's really good thinking ahead, Mom. Yeah. He really wants to break into those snacks. You can't have those. Squirrel says, that is cool, Renee. Yeah. My thing, I guess I just have to get back into, because I mean, I know how to edit, like some people don't know how to edit. Like I know how to edit. I just don't like doing it. And it just takes me so much time. And then, I don't get the numbers that I want right off the bat. um, which is why I haven't been doing them, because, I want to see those numbers. I think this is the last one. Yeah. But even if you don't see those numbers in the beginning, those videos will be the ones that will be played over and over and over again later down the road. Well, hopefully, So, all right. Yeah. I mean, they could also be doing YouTube search though, like there's sometimes like if I need to learn how to do a specific thing or I'm looking for something specific, I'll just search it in within YouTube itself and not like actual Google. Um, yeah, I don't even know how many views I have on that other channel. I should look, right? Because I mean, I haven't done a lot of stuff on it. Yeah, so my lifetime views on that other channel, which I did, I don't know, I only did a few months of content, is 56, almost 56,000. I mean, not great, but I mean, I don't let's see how many. I don't even know how many videos I have on that channel. I guess I'd have to go into like YouTube and look. Oh no. My goal, like Granny's already monetized. She's been monetized for a while because she's had her channel for a while. She did take a year off. For me, I would like to get monetized. Um, like I like reaching goals. So that to me would be cool. Would I like completely depend on it? No, but to reach that goal, yeah, I would feel like I've accomplished something. Um, you know, and I'm trying to do it on both channels. This channel, I just started because just kind of like sharing my craft, the crafting. But then for some reason I stopped doing so much on the other channel and started doing on this one, because this one I was only doing like when I had the time. And so I was working on that one a lot more, and this one was just more of, you know, just my crafting when I had some free time and stuff like that. But then this one started taking off much quicker, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and put some time into this one. And that's kind of like where I'm at. And so I started putting time into this one in mid-November. Yeah, mid or end of November. And then I haven't done much with the other one. But I hadn't done much. I took like I took like 2 or 3 months off of it initially before I started like trying to do something more on this one. Because you like do things and it doesn't work, you know, and it's not going good, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this no more, you know. And so I went through that and didn't do anything on either channel, and then started with this one, and it kind of did well, so I was like, I'll just do this one, and then didn't do that one. And then I've only done like a couple of videos and I think a couple of shorts on that one within the last like month or so, which haven't really gotten very many views at all. So it's, which is kind of like why I'm like, you know, because I have to put editing time into that. And so when it doesn't do well, yeah, it kind of hurts my feelings, which they tell you got to be really thick skinned to, like, you know, be on YouTube for, you know, obvious reasons. But I totally get it, because it's frustrating when you work hard on making something to put out there and then nobody watches it. In fact, it kind of, exactly, yeah, that's what I was just saying. It hurts your feelings, right? Because even now, like, you know, I'm like, you know, especially if I'm having like a low day, because I have those days, you know, I'm human, and I have those days where nothing is going right, you know, and, or I feel like nothing is going right. And then I take my time and my energy to make the video and edit the video, and nobody watches it. I mean, that's just like heartbreaking, right? It's like, wow, like nobody values, there's nobody sees the value in what I'm putting out, you know? And so that's just like a punch in the gut, you know? And like, tell you the truth, I just don't want to feel like that. And so a lot of times I don't post, or like I have, you know, like I have videos that are already made. Of course, they're waiting to be edited, but I'm like, you know, do I take my precious time and do that to just get punched in the gut? Like, you know? So, yeah, I have feelings and they get hurt. True, they do get played over and over. Yeah, but initially those numbers are not there, you know? And it could take a while to get there. Scroll I am making, I can't stretch it out, it's too big. But this part, the brown part, is a football basically. And this part right here is the laces. And I'll show you a picture because I can't stretch it out, which is why I was saying this is probably the last time I'll work on this blanket on a live because it's so compacted. It's just really being a pain to like turn it because at the end of every row I have to turn it so that I can work back the other way. And yeah, it's a pain. But this is, of course, this is not in color, but it's brown and then the white right there. So that's what I'm working on. It'll look really pretty when I can stretch it out. Well, if I do work on it on a live again, I'll have to be set up like at the table, not even at my desk. It'd have to be at a table or on the floor. And so I don't think that I'll do that. I'm not going to say I won't, but I don't think that I will. For one, I don't like sitting on the floor for long periods of time. And my table has a whole bunch of gardening things on it right now. Yeah, 5 years to get that many, yeah. I mean, I guess I can't complain though, because, like I said, I only did, like, I've had the channels because when I started my Instagram account for like the handcrafted and the living, which was to like, just share my pictures of what I was doing and stuff, I was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do it on. So I got the emails and I did it on YouTube. And well, I did the handcrafted on Facebook, but I don't think I did it for a living. But just so that the names are not taken when I want them, if I needed to do anything with them. So the channel's been around for a little while, but the actual content, I think I just started last year. And I didn't do that much. So I'm sure if I was putting in the work like weekly, because that other channel before I stopped posting, I wasn't even close to the subscribers because I'm only like 400 subscribers on living. So if you're in here and you like homesteading and gardening or food preservation, canning, anything like that, please go over there and subscribe to that channel. Actually, if you look a few links above, Nightbot has my Stay Connected, my social media. You can click on there and go follow. But on that one, even though I didn't have the subscribers, just in that little time that I was doing it, I had close to 4,000 hours. I just didn't have subscribers. I was like only like, I think at like 200 or something like that. But the watch hours were there, but of course at that time I didn't know like all the numbers and stuff like I do now either. Like, like I was just making content like whatever. So like if I was gonna be canning that weekend, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna record and I'm gonna teach people how to do this, um, kind of thing. So I wasn't into like the numbers or anything like that. I just kind of wanted people to teach people. So people were watching, they just weren't subscribing. But now that I haven't done much of anything with it, the subscribers are trickling in and, there's watch hours, but really nothing to like speak about. So like I've lost, like I think that channel's down to I think under 2,000 hours right now. Rightfully so, though, because I haven't been working with it, you know? So, I don't know. Is squirrel? Why don't I see squirrel? Oh, okay. Well, it's a lot for me, but not a big YouTube channel. Shoot, some people are getting 40,000 views and yeah, yeah, no joke. Some even a lot more than that, you know, like it's insane. The first year I did YouTube, I put out 3 videos a week, and then I realized it wasn't doing anything for me, so I dropped down to 2 and so on until I finally had to take the year off to watch my grandson. I didn't even start going live until the second year in. Well, you know, you were in one of my first lives. Because I started them the middle or the end of November, and I think that's when we met was the end of November. No, no, that can't be right. No, so I was just thinking my pups passed away, and I already knew you, and that was the end of November. But I wasn't doing lives before I went to California, and that was the beginning of November. So yeah, so you must have been, I must have started in the middle of November when I got back, and you must have been in one of the first. I know you weren't in like the first or second, but you must have been with me after that. So yeah, it's only what, like 6 months now then? I mean, I was terrified of doing it. Like terrified. And then once I did it, I was still scared when I was, or nervous when I was doing it the first few times. And but once I was like, oh wow, I don't have to edit this. I don't have to do any of this kind of stuff. Like I was like, I like this, you know? And I like being able to like chat to people, which I mean, I hadn't ever chatted with people before. Like, you know, like, I don't know, it's just really not something that I've done, like with games or anything like that. Like, yeah, there's been like back and forth, you know, like comments and such on like Instagram and stuff, but I've never like, I mean, I'm not really like the chatty type. So this is like all like a new experience for me, you know? Like getting me out of my comfort zone. Because, yeah, I'm not chatty. Yeah, I come on here and I'm chatty. Well, not like a lot, but some, right? You gotta still stay true to who I am. Amazon just dropped off my little tool, my safety eye tool. I didn't order the eyelashes or any of that because I just really didn't feel like spending money. So I didn't order that. But the tool will definitely save my arthritic hands. So I did order that. I do have the eyelashes for, safe for later because I really like them. All right, 28, 12. I did do 11, right? Hopefully I did the right number. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, so you've had a lot of experience with lives. Funny thing is, Marcel and Grumpus, not Grandpa, are the ones that convinced me to do it. I just wanted to paint again. Lost my mojo having to teach Max. Well, I haven't seen any paintings, right? So you haven't started back up. Will you start back up? Granny says, I totally get that, Renee. If I wanted to do YouTube, I'd make it like a job with a business plan and curate videos. I used to do a lot of marketing for a living, having a gallery, and before that in financial services. Like, if I could do this, like, get monetized is a goal, right? But I know, like, from talking to people like Granny, like, or like Noni, where they make like maybe like $20 a month or something like that. Like, that's not making a living. Like, if I thought I can do this um, and make a good living at it, yeah, then I would probably invest the time. Would I want to invest the time in it more than like if I was doing like a full-time job? No, you know, but like, 20, 30 hours a week, yeah, I would definitely, if I could do it and actually make a good living at it, which I know some people do. So far, that just has not been my experience as far as like views and stuff like that, or also with speaking with others, where they're just like struggling. So even though like they put a lot of time into it, it still doesn't, you know, it doesn't reward them. So that's kind of like where I'm like on the fence, like going back and forth because I just don't know. Like, so like right now, I just do it because like I want to do it and I want to reach that goal just for the sake of reaching that goal. But yeah, what I'd like to make, a good a good salary monthly to like sit here and crochet with people or like teach them how to crochet or like with my food preservation because I love my food preservation. Like I really enjoy doing those videos. Like my crafting has always just been like when I have time kind of deal. But then I also started my little Etsy shop to like sell the crafts. And I thought, oh, I'll do good. But I'm not good with marketing and I'm not good with self-promoting. I've had my shop open for 2 years and I've made 3 sales. So, it's one of those where it's just like, I just tell myself I'm just not good at this, which I shouldn't, because, you know, I should be like, oh yeah, you can do it. But I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers and the time, you know. So like my Etsy store just hasn't done well. Yeah, I keep it open because, you know, it has, what has sold, you know, has paid for like the listing prices and such. But yeah, do I wish I could just like crochet away and make money on YouTube and crochet away and list my things on Etsy and they would sell, or like on like Instagram or wherever, you know, and have them sell. Like I have probably like 100 items that I've crocheted, like plushies, that are still not listed on Etsy because I don't like listing on Etsy because there's so much, like you have all the stuff you have to like fill out and your description and stuff like that. And to do that with however many items I have on there and to only have sold like 3, you know, it's like, do I want to take my time and do all that work for nothing? Yeah. So I know I have some issues, but yeah, I really don't like listing on Etsy. It takes a lot of time. You have to take all the pictures and then your descriptions and then have to figure out what you want to price things at. And I just don't have all those like skills, like you said, like you've got the marketing. Like I wish I could, like I wish I could just like turn this into a business, you know, and be able to like make a profit out of doing what I enjoy doing. I would totally go for that. But it has not been my experience. Granny says, wow, I didn't realize. See, Renee, I don't have any of that kind of experience, which is probably why I keep it a hobby channel. If my channel blew up tomorrow, I'd have no idea how to handle it, and it would be a lost opportunity. Renee says, it is like being self-employed. You will work a lot more hours than as an employee. Or I can tell you, when I was editing videos, that was more hours. That was like a full-time job because the time it took me to make the video, right? My goodness, the hours it took me to edit. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, this is more than a full-time job, you know? And so I did it for a few months and it's like, no, not greatly enjoying this. I mean, I'm married to Poppy, but I can't get out of that arrangement. Thing, don't want things to be permanent. I used to run a program with graduating seniors at an art college to prepare them, pair them up with galleries to learn the business side of being a creator. Creative people are not often great at the business side, right? Like I can sit here and like make pretty things and love making them, which is what I do, right? And then nobody gets to see them. Well, I mean, YouTube does because I do post them on YouTube though. But like the Etsy part of it, I so don't like it. And like the self-promoting, like I've just started really like the self-promoting, like telling people here about, you know, my other channel and stuff like that. But I wasn't even doing that, like, because I'm like, people are here to see the crafting and they don't want to see, and I just talk myself out of things. But yeah, if you got tips for me, Renee, I will take them, because would I like to be crafting and enjoying a paycheck? Absolutely. Yeah, more or less in your face. Yeah. Kind of just like take the back seat. Yeah, totally see that. Although that wasn't me, you know, that that kind of wasn't me. Hey Desi, welcome in. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm still working on this blanket, Desi. It's coming together. You can see it's really big. I can't stretch it out for you because it is too big, but it's coming along. I'm good, Desi. How are you? Yeah, yeah, I did too. And you couldn't. You had to speak your mind, right? Because you just get trampled on. But like doing stuff like this, like, yeah, I'm just not very vocal. Right. That does not seem right at all, because that would be bringing it out. Okay, yeah, that would be going in one. Okay. I told you, y'all, I'm paranoid about my counting now because, oh, that was not good. I keep second guessing myself. Well, it's good to see you as well. Alright, so this is the last brown. And then that. There's also an election to the city council person for district or going the debates and going to win this name. Oh no. Still making that same blanket, the football blanket. I haven't worked on it much, but I did the math, and I need to do, in order to be done by when I need to be done, I need to complete at least 3 rows daily between now and when I have to mail it out. So last night I was ahead of schedule till I had to unravel 5 rows. It's a football blanket. It's the first time out in small politics, and she will get better. Oh, she already has Renee. She's made so many friends, so much headway. Good for her. Good for her. Daisy, if you're still here, this is the blanket. Well, Granny, there's a lot of people out there that like the buffoons. And then you said you're in a small town. You know, a lot of small towns are also the old ways, you know, where they have the people that believe that a woman can't do a man's job, you know. Not all of them. Thank you. Oh, you're fine. And 12, one more. I took a break from gardening outside today, but I'm looking out there and it's overcast, but it's not raining. It looks like it could be like the perfect day to work out there and not like be super hot. But I think because I decided to just take the day off from out there, that I think I'm just going to stick with that and not do anything out there. It's probably really humid out too. Because that was a lot of rain. Too much rain. I think it was 5 or 6, Granny. Which doesn't seem like a lot, you know, when I just say 5 or 6 out loud, you know, it doesn't seem like a lot. But I'd been crocheting for hours to get those 5 or 6 rows. And I was I was so proud of myself because I was ahead of the game, you know. Because my count was off like on one row, and so of course that just threw off all the other. All right, Desi, I don't think I'll be here, but thank you for stopping by. I messed up on one row, and of course that threw off all the others. And when you're working like this and you have your work bunched up like this, you don't see it, right? And so I got all those done, and it was basically nighttime, so I spread it out so I could see my progress. And I was like, oh no, my laces were off. It was, I was upset. You should be doing what, Renee? Working outside. Oh, yeah. I still have that one bed that's a huge disaster, and I'm not looking. I thought I was going to tackle it this weekend, but with the weather we had, Granny, you weren't here. We were in a flat flush warning like most of the weekend and tornado watch. So, yeah. So we did manage to get a little bit of work out there Saturday morning before the bad weather came in, but that was about it. And so that one bed did not get cleaned out. Granny says, I got a lot of my beds planted this weekend, all the beds that are put together and filled with soil. That's awesome. That is really good. You'll have to tell me all the stuff that you planted. I have a lot of teaching stuff to do today. What time do you do schooling? Because you did the closet this morning, right before lunchtime. We had terrible storms yesterday, but Saturday, even though it was overcast, it was nice to work in. Well, that's good. Oh, so while you're on here, he's just doing his own schooling, and then you just come in where he needs help. He's sitting a math class, which I'll have to do with him afterwards, and he has a language arts class lecture at 1. No, I didn't cry, but I was pretty upset about it. Really, like, I was upset with myself because, like, I let myself make that mistake, like, how could I, right? Oh, so he is going to go to a regular high school. Okay. Then what will you do with your days? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. You haven't started creating art again, have you, painting? And do you plan on starting? Yeah. Well, at least you're able to do that, though, so that he stays on track. Oh no. So you would have one more year, right? Because this school year will be over, what, next month? And then you have one more year to go, and then high school. I mean, does he at least appreciate it though? Because if he appreciates it and he's learning from it, that's all you need right there. I planted tomatoes, cucumbers, 2 varieties, 4 kinds of peppers, eggplants, onions, basil, candy roasters, pole beans, trombonsino, and that's about it for now. Good job. Well, you've seen everything I plan on putting out there. So the seeds that I started, I've had them on the heating mat. What, today's day? I think today's day 4. Um, they seem to be doing good. The ones that I had on the heating pad out there that went cold and all that, a lot of them have not germinated, but they are, some of them have like just started to. So I'm gonna give it till probably till Friday or so and see what they look like. And if not, I may have to get some seedlings, because mine are already, even like if they germinate, they're still so far behind. So far behind. But I know, like I know I can put my cherry tomatoes out there, and I know that they'll be fine. They'll produce. So I just have to wait till it's going to be warm enough. Like sometime this week, I think it's going to be too cold. Not tomato temperature. At least I'm looking. Yeah, so like it's supposed to be in the 30s on Wednesday. So I'm not gonna put, it'll have to wait. It'll be probably the 3rd or the 4th week of this month before I put anything out there. Because it would just be too cold for them to germinate anyway. And then the rest of the week, the lows is in the 40s. So that's actually through half of next week. So it may be the week after. So it may be the last week before. Oh yeah, we're still under flood watch. Um, yeah, it may be the either the last week this month or the first week in May before I start seeds outside, if I'm going to start the seeds out there. Because I think my cherry tomatoes and pear tomatoes and those, I think they'll be fine. I mean, I may get a plant or two starts, at the store, but I really don't want to do that. So we'll see. And normally my squashes, I plant out, I start outside anyway. So this with the seeds indoor is just seeing what happens. Because last year when I started them inside and then moved them outside, I still started seeds outdoors. And my outdoor seeds, the ones I sowed outside, did much better than the plants that I had started inside, even though the plants that I had started inside were nice, healthy, good looking plants. The other ones, once they caught up, they just went way past the other ones. So, yeah, but if he thinks it'd be tough for middle school, I would think he would think it would be tough for high school too. High school can be tough. I have 2 more garden beds to fill up inside the fence right now, 2 more to fill up outside the fence, and I need to buy 28 more feet of garden beds. And you already have the 2 for outside. I need to buy about 28 more feet of garden beds. What, to put them going down the sides? That's what I did. So I have the center. Well, I showed you the picture of the garden, right? Where I do it in my apps. I have like the fence and then I have all my beds. So I have the 4 main beds, which were the ones made with the cinder blocks, the original ones. And so I have the 4, then I have the bags along the back wall and the side wall. And then I have the 2 metal beds in the front inside. And then I have the cinder block long bed that runs the whole inside of the fence. Then on the outside of that, I have the whole cinder block that runs the whole outside of the fence. And then in the front, I have a bed in the front and a bed in the front on the other side. And then I have my fig trees. I'm putting my fig trees in the front of the fence too, next to those beds. And then on the outside, on this side, I don't have the cinder blocks. On the outside, I have 2 of the metal beds. So it doesn't completely match, but that doesn't matter. Like, I don't really care as long as they produce, which we have the other 2 beds, like the metal beds, if I wanted to put them on this side where I have the cinder blocks. But I don't think I want to move all that because that's where my asparagus is and my grape. So I don't want to move them. So I think they'll be fine with the cinder block. Because this side over here was going to be cinder block as well till we just gave up because of how heavy and like, to put it there would be fine. But then if we wanted to move it, like we'd have to go through all that all over again. And then it would just be easier to do with the metal beds. But I was surprised. My metal beds, they're a year old, right? Because we just got them last year. And they're already rusting on the inside. And so I looked up, and I guess it's because of the acid in the soil and then all the moisture. And I'm like, yeah, I did not expect that. So that's a little disappointing, which is originally why we started with the cinder blocks, because those will last a lifetime, you know? But, so I don't know. So we may look at cinder blocks again whenever it's time to replace these beds. And he says, I have leeks, tomatoes, and peppers in the greenhouse. Plus, I'm at the jumping at the bit to plant some flowers too. We did some. We got some sunflowers planted a Saturday before the rain came in, the storms. I need to plant so much more, but probably won't. I don't know. I don't know when I'll do that. And I did something that I've not done before was we went to the store and I got a few bulbs, flower bulbs to plant. Um, I've not done that before, so that's new. I always start my stuff from seeds, you know? And so I got the bulbs. Only a few though. I think I only got like 6 or 10 or something like that. Don't even ask me what I got because I don't even. Oh, I got some echinacea. I got some. They're all perennials. What I got was perennials. Some echinacea, some really pretty. I think they're black flowers. And I don't know what the other thing was. But I think we got three different kinds. Now I was like, oh, we'll just plant these and see how they go because I haven't done bulbs before. So, but I imagine it's the same thing, right? You dig a hole, you put the bulb in it, you cover it back up with soil, right? And that's it. That's all it takes, I think. Yes, I want garden beds going down 2 sides of the fence. Yeah, yeah, that's what we did, and I think it looks good. And it, it gives you all that much more space on the last year on this side of the fence. Um, in those beds, I planted a whole bunch of sunflowers, and in the front, I planted like the herbs and other flowers. I do like edible flowers and stuff like that. This year, I'm not planting my sunflowers on in that bed though. I'm planting them. I'm digging holes to plant these sunflower seeds, and I'm hoping that they turn out because I've not planted just a seed in the ground before. Um, but I mean, I went ahead and modified it with compost and such. But I have a lot more, so we did those. And I have probably like, I don't know, probably 50 to 100 more that I want to do. And so, like, digging the whole part was not that much fun because I don't have one of those, what is it, augers or whatever that digs it for you. So, I'm having to just dig it myself. Well, hubby has helped. Like, I dig the first few holes while he was doing something else, and then he came and dig the rest of the holes while I was filling the holes and planting them in there. So, but I think I want to do like 50 to 100 more of the sunflowers and just like border like the whole outside, like just create like a border of sunflower. It's not like a complete border because I'm not planting them that close, but I think it would just look pretty in like the different sizes, so like tall ones, shorter ones. So that's what I'm gonna do with or my goals for the sunflowers. Um, but yeah, most of my beds are planted. So the one on the side, when my asparagus get here next week, my asparagus will all go in that side bed because eventually that whole outside left side of the garden on the outside, that bed will all be asparagus except for my grape that's growing because I planted there and I don't want to move it because I'd have a lot to move and plus it vines on the fence. So that will all be asparagus. Although I got asparagus, you know, that's going to come next week. And when I was doing it in the app, it looks like I still have more room for more asparagus. So I'll probably, I don't know, I may order some more this year and get them in the ground. I'll wait till those get here next week and actually when I plant them, see where I'm at. Because I'm doing it in the app, but maybe I'm off a little or something, you know. So I'll wait and see. Or I could always leave that little bit at the end and plant some flowers at the end of that bed because it's only like a few more feet. So I'll have to see. And then, so that one's getting asparagus. And then my two inside front ones are done. Yeah, I think I only have like, I know I'm pausing because I'm looking at the beds in my head and seeing where I'm at. Yeah, so I have like 3.5 more beds to plant, of actual beds to plant, and then, you know, all my sunflower planting, and then 3.5 more beds of like vegetables, fruits and vegetables. My asparagus bed when they get here, and then I do have one of the front ones that I have sunflowers in there, some, not sunflowers, but some flowers, and I'm going to put some more flowers in there, so I have that one as well. But that's not so much of a task, you know, like, so I it's getting there. It's getting there. I've gotten a lot done for somebody who thought they were going to skip gardening altogether this year, so there is that, right? Like I would have a lot more done had I known I was going to garden, you know, but since I didn't know, I'm trying to allow myself some grace and be like, you've accomplished a lot for somebody who wasn't going to do it at all, you know? So, because young, well, Granny knows I've been trying to allow myself some grace because I'm really hard on myself, and I have been working on that. But those negative thoughts creep in every once in a while, and I just have to, you know, stop them. I think that's gonna look pretty. Oh, and you said you were gonna do like the flowers. Um, what I did on the outside last year in one of those beds was I planted tomatoes, and I can't plant tomatoes on the outside beds anymore because that raccoon came and ate my tomatoes. So they can't go on the outside of the fence. Oh, welcome back, Izzy. I had all intentions of going outside today and making a garden video, like an update on the makeover, but it was really cold and the wind was blowing like crazy, so I'm going to wait until it warms up. You know what you could do, Granny? Go out there real quick and just do a short, you know, 30-second short. And at the end of the short, put the full video coming soon. And so people can like subscribe and like look forward to seeing the full video. And then tomorrow in a few days, then you do the other one. And that way you still get a short out there and you get views and possible subscribers and stuff like that with just 30 seconds, you know, which doesn't even take editing because you go out there, you look at it, you don't like it, you do it again, you know. You might spend, you know, what, 3 to 5 minutes. It should be tomorrow or Wednesday. Outside beds are going to be for my blueberries and my flowers. Oh, you're going to put your blueberries in the beds? Yeah, I forgot on the outside. So the outside of my garden has the cinder block bed on the left hand side. And then I left basically just a walkway, right, where I can walk so I can harvest and do whatever in that bed. But then to the left of that is my blueberry patch, or my berry patch, because there's more than blueberries. And so I have the ones that are in the ground, but then I also have the ones that I just put into bags, which are also going to go to the left of the ones that are in the ground. But we're going to do is buy pavers, so I can put the bags on pavers so all the weeds and stuff don't just like come up around the bags. And I think I'm going to grow those in the bags for at least till next year, maybe longer, and see how they do, and then put them in the ground. And then I'm um, still debating on whether I want to do that peach tree or not. So that's still up in the air. I don't know if we'll do it or not. But I was going to see if I had, I don't think you can see it on the phone. Let's see. I should do a video on my other channel. I mean, I guess I could do it on this channel, but since it's gardening, like, of my beds, because, like, I don't know, where I can actually like share my screen. So like this is the long one, the long bed that I have. So like there's my grape, right, that goes along the back of the fence. And then there's my other grape that goes along this fence. And so this is the long side of, on the left side of the garden. And you can see I have the grape there, but then I have all these asparagus. And so asparagus. And then this right here is where my berry patches, I have to put them in, because I had them on a separate screen, but I'm just going to include them on here so when I look at a glance I can see everything. These right here are just the holes from the cinder blocks, the where they have that hole, which I can plant smaller things in there. So that's why I have it that color, because I can plant, certain flowers and stuff. Um, and so then the inside is all planted. And then I have that bed, this bed. This still needs the cucumber and the tomatoes because the trellis is here. The arch goes from this bed over to this bed, and then also from this bed over to this bed, but from this bed over to this one, and this one to this one. And so this end and this end, here and here, 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 and here is where I put everything that needs trellising. So everything is pretty much like planted or on here. Even the stuff that's not planted because it's still too cold is on here. So because I did actually take the time the last couple of days and actually come in here and see what I want to put where, so that I'm not just willy-nilly just going out there and doing whatever. And so this bed still has to be planted, which I'm leaving for last because there was a lot of ants. And so, and then this bed, I have all the plans for it, but it's a huge mess. This is one of the ones that's super messy that I haven't done anything with. But then here's the little thing, basically the little showing my fence, where the fence, so there's the entrance way, and then there's a fig, and then here's the one bed, and here's the other bed on the front. So I think that'd be probably pretty cool, like sharing my video and like moving things around. It would have been cool, like while I'm actually like updating it as I put stuff in and out. Oh yeah, and then my bags on the inside of the fence. Those have peas because they'll just trellis up the fence. So, yeah. Melted berries going for blueberries in my flowers. As your asparagus grows, it's going to multiply. Well, I noticed that it gets like, what do you mean multiply? Because, I learn new things every day. Like, I thought if you have just the males that they don't multiply, they do their little, like, it does this little thing where it takes up about its foot and a half or whatever. But then you cut all those back, and then the next year it just basically does its a foot and a half. Now, if you have females, I think they keep multiplying. And this is the thing. When I initially planted my asparagus, because I got that I don't think they're called asparagus roots, but the what you actually get, that you have to like mound them up and all that. I did those, right? But then last year I just started asparagus seeds and they did well, and I was like, oh, let me plant them. And so that's when I planted them on that side bed, because the other ones were planted like way in the back and they weren't getting like enough sun, so they didn't do great. Plus the deer were eating them. Um, but these, I started from seed. And so I don't know. I haven't taken the time to see the difference between the male and the female, but there may be females in there because I did them from seeds. Like normally, the other ones I know, those roots or whatever they were all males. So they weren't going to keep multiplying, right? With the seeds that I planted, that I started last year, I don't know which are male and female, so those very well may multiply. And then the ones that I just ordered from Starks, those will be all males. So basically, wherever I plant them, that should be pretty much where they stay. Yeah, they'll grow, but then they'll get cut back down, and then they'll come back next year, kind of thing. But the ones I did, yeah, I'll have to see if I can tell the difference between the male and the female. Hey, Kelly, welcome in. Hey, Granny says, oh, you've definitely done a lot for somebody who wasn't going to garden, right? Yeah, that's why I'm trying to like, you know, be nice and be like, Jacquie, you have done a lot, like, yeah, you're behind on some things, but really you're ahead because you weren't going to do it this year. So, aw, thank you, Granny. She says, that looks so nice. Thank you. I planted the rattlesnake pole beans. Oh, I didn't, on that, you just said the pole beans on that when you were looking. So in this bed back here on the inside, the back bed, right there where the arches are, I went ahead and did all those pole beans right there. And then in this front inside bed, I did all bush beans. So those did all get planted. Rattlesnake. I have not grown rattlesnake pole beans. And I'm not sure if that was a great idea or not. I've got Blue Lake and Kentucky Wonder. I planted both Blue Lake and Kentucky Wonder, because I think I have Blue Lake Pole and Blue Lake Bush. I did both. And those are the ones I'm used to. I've never done rattlesnake. Yeah, I haven't either. You know what I tried last year was and they're so pretty, the dragon tongue, and so they're like that color with like the little purple speckles, purple or burgundy, I don't, but they're so pretty. They didn't do very well, so I didn't even have any seeds this year, but I had kept the little container so that I could order some, but I did, and hubby was like, well, they didn't do really good. So I'm like, but I think it's because the grubs like were eating them, you know, um, as the little seedlings, as they're coming up, something was eating them. So I think that's probably why they didn't do good. But anyway, the point is, I have enough green beans going out there that I don't need to order. Oh, and then I have all those seeds that are coming to me from MI Gardener that so I'm glad that I still have space in some of the beds. So I need to go back into my app and look and add those things in where I think I want them. But let me ask you this. So you did the rattlesnakes, but did you still do the Kentucky Wonder and the Blue Lake? Because if you did those, then you don't have anything to worry about, even if the rattlesnake ones don't do good. I have no idea if I had male or female when I lived in Virginia, but I started off with a 4x4 bed and I only planted half of it. So where I moved, it was completely full. Yeah, the females will do that. Because what the females do, like the male ones, I can't even remember if they produce seed or if they just produce sterile seeds. Don't quote me on this because I'm going on information that I learned like several years ago. Um, but the male ones won't keep. If they seed, they don't, they're not, they won't produce, right? But the female ones, when they go to seed, they will, those seeds will drop down and, then next year they'll just come up just like, because it's a perennial, right? So I do have to see what the difference is. Now, I wouldn't mind having more grow in there. That's fine. And then I can deal with that accordingly. But yeah, when it's the mail, you shouldn't have that problem. And that's what I got that's coming in the mail. But that's what's good about asparagus, right? It's just that you keep getting more and more and more. Or, well, no, you don't get more and more. I guess if you have the females, you get more and more. But if you know, they last. So what is it, like 20 or 25 years that they're good for? So I'm planting 15 seeds because I don't know how many beans I'm going to get off of each vine. Do you think that'll be enough? Well, uh, you're talking about yeah, okay, the vine. Because I do my square foot gardening, right? So for my square foot gardening, for my pole beans, it tells me I can plant 9 in each square. That's a lot. And normally I do like a whole bed width. So what, they're 3 by 9. So I would basically do 81 seeds, right? Because I'm going across the hole where I have the arch. But I didn't do that this year. And that normally is enough for us. But that's 81 seeds. But I didn't do it that way this year because in my square, so these seeds get the arch, right? These seeds right here, these vines start using these vines to get up to the fence, right? And then these vines use these vines and these to get up to the fence. So I was like, and so that makes these not do as well because they get strangled by the 6 that are back here. So this year I didn't do that. This year I just went this way. And so I did, so I'm kind of like in the same dilemma as you because I only did what could go up. And I normally do like 81. And I think I only did, how many did I do? How many did you do, Jackie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So I only did them on right here. And I think I did 4. So like 4 per square, but not like the full square, right? Just on the edge of the square so they could come up. So it might have been 3, but I think it was 4. So I did like 4 in that square, 4 in that square, 4 in that square, just on the border. And so that was 8. So maybe 32 is what I did. So I'm going from 81 that I normally do on one bed, just in one section, to 32. or 27, depending on if it was 3 or 4, because I really don't remember. Um, so that's cutting it back like big time. So I'm hoping they do good, right? And I'm actually thinking maybe on the sides, which I don't want to waste those arches on those beams, but I'm like, maybe I might put some in there as well, because I'm like, they might not be enough. But when I do my 81, there, we have plenty. But like I said, I don't want them struggling and strangling each other out and stuff like that. So I decided to try something new this year. And I'm hoping it works out, because then they're not getting strangled, or, for anything, for soil, for room, for anything like that. And they have the room. And so maybe they'll, even though there's less of them, maybe they'll produce just as good or better. So yeah, so I've never planted that little. I have no idea if I put, okay, male or female. I only planted 15 seeds because I don't know how many beans. Yeah. And do you have anywhere else where you can put more? Because I mean, if you get too many, then you just can them, right? Or freeze them. No, I did, and I ran out of room. Oh, okay, you ran out of room. Okay. How how spaced out did you do them too? Because you can kind of do them like I've done them in the past, and in that same square, put however many more in there, because they will grow. I change things up. She is Izzy. Oh wow, so I could plant a row of blue lakes behind the rattlesnakes. Yeah, that's how let me show you, because it's also in my app. I like the square foot gardening, because I started out with small beds and I wanted to make the most out of what I had, right? So as long as you have enough nutrients in there to, I just had it. Where did it go? Enough nutrients in there for your plants, they will be fine. So like I'm trying to go in here and just look something up so that I can show you. So this is my, oh, I'll send you the link to this app too, Granny. But so like, okay, so this is just for my red noodle here, but disregard that. That goes for mainly all pole beans. But so because I do the square foot gardening, if you look at, oh, it won't get bigger. But if you look at this little square right here, that's just 1 square foot. You can plant them just like that. So 3, 6, 9. And the only reason I didn't do that, like I said, is because these will go up, use these, and these, they'll just use each other. But I've grown them like that for several years and they do fine. I just wanted to try something differently, or try something different for this year. And if it doesn't work out for me this year, right? So if they don't produce a lot, then next year I will go back to this. Or even if I don't go back to this, what I'll do is I'll do 3 and the 3 behind it, and I won't do the 3 behind it. I'll just leave the 6, and see how that goes. But yeah, I love my square foot gardening. I get so much out of a small area, and that's why even after that, right, even after I started doing my square foot gardening, um, I was like, there's got to be a way that I can grow more food. And then that's when I started like researching the growing up, you know. So you're not taking up your bed. So now that I have the arches, those things just grow up. They don't take up any of my bed, so I can grow in all those squares, you know. And like the stuff that actually needs like a lot of room, so like my trombones, not tromboncinos, like my Romanesco zucchini, you know, that they're just bush out, those will go in, I'll put those in a bag just because I know, like, if I put them in my bed, they're going to take up at least 4 square feet of my bed. And I'm not willing to give 4 square feet to one plant. So they'll go in just a bag off by themselves where they can just sprawl out and still they're not affecting the growth of anything else around them. Um, but yeah, Granny, with, yeah, you can plant another behind them. So you figure, so you have a square foot, right? So that would be 12 inches. And so you have three, three, and three. So they're doing it 4 inches. So I would leave like 4 inches and do your next one. Yeah, I'd go for the 6. And that way you know, you're not out anything and you see what you know, see what you have. And then you can just reevaluate next year. Like I said, when I do the 12, they, they do, they do well, but I feel like they're so crowded, you know, and I'm trying to maybe not crowd them as much, you know. But um, like my cucumbers, um, I do 2 per square foot. So I just do, so if this is my square foot, right? I do one at the end here and one at the end here, and I just plant them pretty close to the fence. So even though this is the whole square, I don't plant them in the middle of the square. I just plant them closer so that they can get to the arch a lot quicker, you know, and start vining up as opposed to vining in the dirt and then coming up. But then I still leave them like that room back in the back of the square. That's still their square unless I'm planting something there that is beneficial to them. Um, you know, something that would actually provide them something that they need. But most of the time it's just them two in their little square. Anyway, guys, I have been on here for 2.5 hours, so I need to say goodbye. I hope that each one of you has a wonderful and blessed week, and I will see you again soon. Yeah, yeah, 30ish, yeah, I think so. All right, guys, have a blessed week till I see you again. Bye.